Welcome. We're going to do a little movement practice here to nurture your shoulders. And for this practice, you can be seated on the floor or in a chair. And you may want to grab a yoga block if you have one. If you don't have a yoga block, you could use a small box, like a rectangular tissue box works really well, or a Tupperware container, something of a similar size or shape. Or you can just practice without it if you can't find anything easily at hand. We're going to start out in seated. Take a moment to feel your sitting bones on the floor, the chair, or the cushion. And get curious about whether you can balance your weight evenly between right and left sides. Maybe sitting just slightly forward of the sitting bones. If you're having trouble getting even side to side, sometimes changing your leg position or sitting a little higher is helpful. Sometimes it's just good to notice where you're at and let that be as it is. We'll begin by bringing your arms up to about shoulder height, crossing the forearms and holding on to opposite elbows here. And then we'll start to see if we can get your shoulder blades to move. So we'll start by pressing the elbows forward, letting the upper arm bones come forward away from the wall behind you, and the shoulder blades wrap wide on your rib cage. And then draw your shoulder blades in towards each other as your upper arms come back towards the wall behind you. Forward, shoulder blades wrap wide, back, shoulder blades hug in. Sometimes it can be hard to feel what your shoulder blades are doing. If there's someone else there who can help you, you might just have someone put their hands on your shoulder blades to help you feel. Or you just do the best you can. Sometimes movement is challenging to find, and we can just be curious about it as we're working towards getting all of the muscles working in and around the blades. From here, we'll let the arms come down and rest. And then if you have your block, you're going to take your block in your hands. We're going to do the same thing, taking the arms out in front of the shoulders, now holding the block. And we're going to find that same movement. So now that your arms are longer and you're not holding your elbows, you're going to notice it feels a little bit different. And one thing to watch for is, do you want to bend your elbows as the arms come back? Or can you still find that movement in the shoulder blades? Noticing what you feel. Sometimes these small movements can be very fatiguing. So if you're getting fatigued, feel free to rest. When you feel complete, take a moment just to notice how you feel through your upper back, your shoulders, and beyond. Taking some nice, easy breaths. For this next movement, we're going to take the block or the box again between your hands if you have one. If not, you'll just do your best to hold your hands about the same distance apart. It does work really well if you have that block because it really keeps that connection between the two sides. And we're going to bring the arms up here. Elbows are in front of the shoulders more or less. Upper arms are parallel to the floor. Forearms are more vertical. And probably you'll slant in slightly to hold the block because the block is narrower than your shoulders in most cases. From here, we're going to keep the elbows still and start to move that block side to side like it's going on a conveyor belt from one side to the other. You might notice a little movement in your wrists, and you might notice some sensation in around your shoulders. So although we're seeing the block moving, most of this movement is going to actually come from the rotation of your upper arm. And so you may well feel some sensations in and around your shoulder as you go side to side, keeping this nice and easy. Again, if this is fatiguing, take rests and do smaller doses. It's all good. When you're ready, you can place that block to the side. Now notice how you feel. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then we'll bring your right arm up. This time we're going to keep your rib cage still. We're going to reach that right arm across the body towards the left on a diagonal, just as far as it feels comfortable to do so. And then you're going to reach out on that diagonal, letting your shoulder blade come wide, just like we were doing without the diagonal reach, letting your shoulder blade come wide. And then now allow your rib cage to follow. So you're coming into a twist. This left hand can come behind you if you like. Rather than leaning on that hand, just let it rest. And then maybe hug that left shoulder blade in towards the spine a little bit. Taking a couple of breaths in this twist. Legs are quiet and relaxed. Sit bones are evenly grounded. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Take a couple of breaths in center just to feel. You may feel lopsided because we did one side only. Now we'll take the left arm straight out from the shoulder. Think about keeping your rib cage still as you reach that left arm across your body on a diagonal, only so far as it comfortably goes. And then start to reach the fingertips forward as your shoulder blade comes wide on your rib cage. And then start to allow that to lead you into the twist. Twisting your rib cage above your pelvis, letting your right arm come down behind you rather than leaning in that arm. Just let it come behind you and maybe hug that right shoulder blade in towards your spine a little bit. We'll take a few breaths here just to notice how you feel, going only so far as your legs are quiet and relaxed, your sit bones are still grounded. And allow the breath to move you. So we don't need to hold here with a lot of tension. Letting the pose be dynamic with your breath. And then when you're ready, unwind, come back to center. And then if you like, you can take some nice, easy shoulder rolls or shrugs, just shaking the shoulders out a little bit. And then take a few breaths in stillness, noticing how you feel. Notice your connection to the chair, the ground, the floor. Notice how you feel around your neck and shoulders, your upper back. I hope you found this helpful. Enjoy the rest of your day and take really good care. Thank you.